Well, what a great night to be out at sea after a week in the marina. We headed off, it was about 2 o'clock I think when we left the river. We've got a full moon, so there's a bit of light out here. The wind's fair, we've got about 10 to 15 from the north, and we're making really good time with the sail out down towards the fairway mark in the entrance to the Sandy Strait. So we should be there, I think, about 8 o'clock in the morning, so there'll be plenty of light. The sun will be coming up in a minute, and we'll make our way up to Sheridan Flats and probably get right through today and head down the other side. So looking forward to that. Anyway, good to be out here, great to be out here, especially on a night like this. I love it, beautiful. Well, an early start, but very pleasant conditions, just ideal. We've got about 3 hours to run and we'll be at the fairway marker, and then we'll run down and do the shallow part of the Sandy Strait at about 11 o'clock I think. So it's pretty nice being out here in these conditions, just excellent. We're past the fairway mark and we're just coming up to Moon Point Bank out here on the left of us. I think I'm going to go across the Moon Point. I'll have a look at the bank here, see what it's like behind it, but the wind is starting to get up a bit. So we've had a pretty good run across really. I think what I'm going to do is just go across the Moon Point and shelter up under there. I think we'll be alright in a northerly. I don't think it's going to get terribly strong, so I think we'll be able to get a bit of shelter there, and then we'll head up and do the shallow bit tomorrow morning. Had about enough. We've had a pretty long night and a good day, and we've done it pretty well. And Pip could do with going ashore, so I'll go and find somewhere to anchor out of the wind, and we'll wait for tomorrow to do the shallow bit. All good fun. Well, this is going to be a pretty sad episode. My cruising companion of 15 years is pretty crook. She's hasn't eaten really well for the last month. She's lost a lot of weight, and now she's breathing shallow and just on the way, I think. Just no quality of life. So I'm just heading down to Tin Can Bay. Dave, the mobile vet, is going to meet me down there. He's going to take a look at her and we'll make a decision, but I think it's the end of the road for Pip and me. It's pretty hard to do, I tell you. I always like putting feel-good stuff on the YouTube channel, but sometimes in life it's not all great. So this is a warts and all channel, and you're going to see the warts today, I guess. Anyhow, we'll get up to Tin Can. I've organised to tie up at the fuel berth there, and Dave's going to meet me, have a look at her, and we'll make a decision. But it's not looking too good for the old girl, and I don't want to just have her around for the sake of it. It's not fair. I can see she's in a fair bit of pain. But I hope someone does it for me when I get too bloody old to do this. Breakfast on Monday. Still a pretty sad boat here, still a bit hollow, but it's getting better with time. I can feel it getting better. I do miss my poor old dog a fair bit, but time will heal that. And on days like this, it's blowing really strong out of the south. Now we had a big southerly change last night. I dragged anchor, was out in the wind and the rain and the thunder, retrieving the anchor and trying to motor up on it, and it was pretty hard work. Unfortunately, we don't get any video of that because I'm just too busy saving the boat. So no video of all the drama last night. But anyway, I got the pick back down and set properly, and we're hanging on pretty well now. But it's very windy today at 25 knots, over 25 knots from the southeast at the moment. So a bit overcast too, a little bit cold. So we're going to spend a bit of time editing videos today. And our next jump is back down to Moreton Bay. When I get down there, it's a bit loose. I've got to plan what I'm going to do, but I'm going to stay on the boat. I'm going to live on the boat now until I can't anymore. And I'll probably do a little bit of travel down into onto the New South Wales coast as well. I was thinking this morning, if I had Pip on the boat, I'd be putting her in the dinghy and riding out these rough conditions to get her to shore. So that's one thing I don't have to do, but look, I'd do it again tomorrow if she was back on board. Anyhow, we'll keep the videos coming. That's what it's going to be a good day for today, is just editing videos. So I'm going to get into it and get another one together for you guys. So thanks for following me. I noticed the numbers are getting up really well lately. The views have been fantastic. So thanks very much for following me. I do this mainly for you guys, a bit for myself too. It's a bit of a hobby for me. So I enjoy it because I can do it with very small cameras and just the gear you can see on the desk in front of me, so I can do all my editing like that. It's a great hobby to have on a boat. But look, I do like sharing with you guys. I hope it gives you a bit of ambition to do what I'm doing, and it's great to catch up with you as I travel along the coast. So cheers, and look, thanks for all the great messages regarding Pip, my old mate. Yeah, I'll miss her deeply, but her presence will always be on the boat, and eventually I'll get over looking in that corner there and wondering why she's not there, I guess. But anyway, thanks for all the really kind messages. Today I think I'm going to get an electric anchor winch for the front of the boat. I've upped anchor about 3 times just moving around out of this wind. Right now we're right up the back of Pelican Bay in the 3 metre hole that's up there. There's about 5 boats that come in the last 10 minutes, and probably a few more coming in maybe later on. We've got about 30 knots going around to the west now, and it's supposed to go around to the south tonight. So the wind's changing, and also you can see behind me there's a lot of cloud build up, so we're going to get some thunderstorms as well. Okay, big day tomorrow. It's been a pretty hard week, but looks like tomorrow I'm going to get out to sea again, so that'll be really good therapy for me. I'm looking at crossing the bar pretty early, probably get up at daybreak and get the anchor up and head out. Be on a low tide, so I'll have to go right out the long way, but them's the breaks, I guess. But I'm just cooking a bit of tea, and just give you a little tip. I buy this stuff called Spice Tailor. You buy it in Coles and Woolies. Stores in the cupboard, you don't have to refrigerate it, and it's got 3 little sachets in it. Okay, so 3 sachets, one with all the spices and 2 sauces. And all you do is put your rice on. I've got the rice on now that's starting to cook, so I'll just boil that up for take 15 or 20 minutes. Once your fry pan's hot, which it is now, put your little bag of spices in there. You just cook them for 20 seconds. And the only other thing you've got to buy is the chicken breast. So I've already cut that up. Okay, so we just flash fry the spices and get a good aroma off that straight away, so that's good. Okay, in with the chicken. Pretty tight in my tiny little galley, but all works all right. Got to brown that chicken, and then all you do after that, once you've browned the chicken, you put in the first little sachet of sauce, stir that round, give it about 3 minutes, and then when you've done that, put in the second duver of sauce and simmer it for about 10 minutes. The job's done. Your rice will be ready by then, and your chicken's ready as well. This is butter chicken. I tell you what, it's really, really tasty. Nice little, you can get them in mild or hot. I like the mild stuff a bit. A little bit of spice, but not too much. But I tell you what, they're really tasty meals. So remember it, when you're shopping, if you're on the boat, try out Spice Tailor. I can recommend it. I reckon they're great. And it's not a paid ad, I just like it. Maybe I should get onto them and see if they'll sling me a few for the ad. Anyway, I'm going to finish cooking this and sit down and have a good meal and get to bed early, and I'll be out across that bar tomorrow morning. We'll see you then. Gummo, and plenty left over for the next meal or two. Well, I had a good meal tonight. I'm going to be going to bed pretty soon. I'm thinking we're going to cross the bar early tomorrow morning. So we're going to cross the Wide Bay Bar. I've already contacted VMR and got the coordinates update. Before you cross the bar, either in or out, it's a good idea to contact Coast Guard Tin Can Bay, and they will text you the coordinates for the bar. They've told me that there's 2 metres on the bar at low tide, so that should be plenty for us to scoot out over. I am going to be doing it with the last little bit of the run out just to pick up a bit of speed. It's a long bar, you're going to be on it for an hour and a half. But make sure you get those coordinates and plot them into your plotter, put them on your plotter, and then you can steer to those coordinates. Makes it a lot safer. The other things I'm going to do is just check that the dinghy's pretty well lashed on the back. Make sure anything you've got on the boat, your dinghy's secure. It does get a bit joggly out there at times. I've been across it when it's been dead flat. But chances are it's going to be a little bit like a washing machine, so make sure everything's tied down. The other thing to do is just make sure your hatches are dog shut. You don't want to get out on the bar and cop a wave over the top and find you've got water coming into the boat. Pelican Bay is the place where most people leave to cross the bar. I've been sitting here for 2 days just waiting for the weather, and it's been pretty atrocious. I haven't been wanting to go out for the last 2 days, but the morning looks like it's going to come off. It's down to 5 or 6 knots. If you're not real game to cross the bar first up, I've done it a lot of times, so I don't have any problems with it. If you're not real keen to do that, just wait for a bit later in the morning and let a few boats cross, and they'll usually give you a bit of a indication of what the bar's like. So if you listen on the radio on channel 80, I think it is, Coast Guard Tin Can Bay, they'll ask the people crossing for bar reports, and those people will give you some indication of what the crossing is like. So it's a good way to gauge it if you haven't crossed it before. But anyway, looking forward to getting out to sea again. It'll be really good. Well, an early start. First of all, to get out through the shallow bit where we're anchored, and we'll keep on going and do the bar. So we'll do it nice and early. It's going to be a long day, but we'll get a nice early start and maybe get down to Bongaree in daylight. Probably not, but we'll give it a go. The wind's gone round to the southwest actually, but it's very light, so we should have a pretty decent trip across the Double Island Point. We'll see how we go. I'm going to have a look at going out through the Fisherman's Gutter from Inskip. I've done it a couple of times before, probably not at this lower tide, but there's a couple of boats have gone out through it this morning, so I guess there's enough water and it really shortens up the bar crossing by heaps, gets you straight on the way to Double Island Point. So we'll have a bit of a look at it and see if we're going to attempt it, I guess. We're back in deeper water now. It's definitely worth doing that fisherman's gutter if you can. The conditions have got to be right, and I'll put a track in now, so I'll have it there. We didn't get under probably 1.9 metres the whole way out, and we're back out in deeper water now, and it cuts the whole wide bay bar. We've only had about, what, 15 minutes of a bit of slop, whereas if you do the bar on the waypoints, it really does, you're on it for probably an hour and a half, and it takes you a long way away from Double Island Point. We're heading straight for Double Island Point now, and you really cut that corner off. So if you sneak around, you've got to get a bit of local knowledge. Do it in good conditions and you should be all right, but don't attempt it if it's your first time across the bar, because it is quite shallow. But once you've been out here a few times, you get a little bit more confident with it. And it's probably about 2 hours from low tide now, so you can do it in some pretty low water. Excellent, we're on our way to Double Island Point. Well, we're just heading towards Noosa now, and it's a pretty nice day out here, but the wind won't do its thing and go around to the north a bit, so it's still heading us coming out of the southeast virtually. So I've had a couple of cracks at getting the sail out, but no good, so we're just going to have to wait for it. It's supposed to go around to the north at 12 o'clock, so maybe another couple of hours. But anyway, the travelling's pleasant, the boat's going along all right, she's doing a good job, and if the wind goes round, we'll get the sail out and make it that little bit more comfortable. We're going to head all the way down past Mooloolaba, all the way down the bottom of Bribie and into Bongaree, and I'll anchor up there. I might spend a couple of days there, do the coffee thing and have a few walks around town, and then we'll shoot across Moreton Bay, maybe spend a night at Peel, and then down to Jacob's Well. My mate down there's got a pontoon behind his house, and he's taking his boat out of the water for a couple of weeks, so I'm going to get used to the pontoon. Great. Beautiful, the wind has gone around a little bit. That's that extra 3 or 4 degrees, and we've popped the headsail out. We picked up about half a knot. It's a bit fine still, but if it comes around, we'll get a nice lift off it. But it just makes the motion on the boat so much nicer having that sail set. So, doesn't get much better than this. Fantastic. Another great day of motor sailing. It's been fantastic. We're off Mooloolaba now. We've got 10 nautical miles to go till we're down at Caloundra, and then probably another, I think 12 after that, and we'll be down the bottom of Bribie. So we won't get down there till nightfall, but it's pretty easy getting around and in. I might just anchor off somewhere for the night and head up in the morning, but it's been a great day. Really worth waiting those couple of days to get the weather right. Once you get the weather round after the beam, it's just ideal for motor sailing now, and it makes it so much more comfortable and a bit faster too. Great. Anyway, nearly back into Moreton Bay. Love it out here though. Well, nearly the end of another great day at sea. It's been a long day. We've probably got another couple of hours to travel, and we'll probably end up around the bottom of Bribie in the dark. But I'll just find sneak my way up. There's a lot of sandy beach down there, so I'll just sneak my way into some shallower water and drop the pick for the night, and then we'll find somewhere to anchor up for a couple of days tomorrow. But it's been a good trip. The wind's been favourable most of the afternoon. We're just running with it at the moment. It's a bit lumpy, it's probably about a metre and a half out here, but when you're going with it like this, it's quite comfortable. So we've had a good time. We'll get in behind Bribey, get out of all this when we get down there, and then virtually we're in Moreton Bay. So I'll try and hang on to a bit of this northerly and skip across Moreton with it blowing from the north as well. Anyway, great fun. Well, just rolled up the sail in the daylight. It's on your own. It's a little bit hard mucking around in the dark and getting it wrapped up properly. It looks pretty good up there actually, so that's all out the way. What I'll do now is set up the bridle for the anchor, and then we'll be ready to just go in and drop the pick. We've lost about a knot by furling the sail up, but I'd rather get it done with a bit of light. It just makes it that much easier. Last trip back across Moreton. Left Peel Island this morning. I'm taking the boat south to Jacobs Well, where I'm going to tie up on a mate's pontoon for a couple of weeks while he's out in the hard. This is going to be the last video on this playlist, so the cruising into retirement seminar is finished. I might do one more down the coast here, but the cruising part of it's finished. And I'm going to take a little bit of a break over Christmas, so I'm going to travel down to Melbourne and see my daughters, spend Christmas down there with them. But after that, I'm going to be back on the boat doing some more cruising, and yeah, let's find some new places to visit. So look, I hope you've enjoyed the videos this year. It's been great. I must admit I'm going to enjoy not making videos. The editing part of it takes up a lot of time, so I'm going to enjoy having a bit of a break, and it'll probably freshen me up for next year. So everyone, have a great Christmas, have a happy New Year, and I'll see you in the new year with plenty of new videos. So thanks for watching. If you haven't done it already, please subscribe, ring the bell, and have a great Christmas. See you all. Well, we just anchored out of Bundy last night, and I was a bit worried about crab pots up here. There's usually a lot of crab pots on the bank, so didn't want to pick one of them up. And we're just going to sneak up to town now and anchor a bit closer to the jetty. Good spot here.